Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on October 21st. Let's jump right into our charts and see what happened in the markets today. First up, December live cattle on the board. We continue to see a good response here following last week's big breakdown on Friday from the bulls, as we've seen good buying activity all week long so far. Both Monday and Tuesday's action showing really good recovery here. Today we did see the buyers step right in and push higher right off that opening range today and never really looked back. Price driving right up into new highs, finishing the day up there above that prior day high was a big win for the bulls, right there at 245.42. At the moment, we had a pretty heavy concentration of volume getting built up late today, looking like we're drawing a nice shelf here with today's high being the line to beat. As we go into tomorrow's session, we want to see the bulls get some more bids above today's high there at 245.75. And if they are able to break above this shelf here that we've kind of created today, should see a nice little pop up here towards this recent all-time high here at 248.30 and potentially beyond up into the 250s. So at the moment, the market really shaking off this downturn we saw on Friday, but really good recovery efforts already so far this week. At the moment, we're seeing good buying activity and support in all the right places. This market failing to even pull back to the 20-day moving average, looking like this thing is going to start heading back towards those all-time highs. Just want to keep an eye out here. If we do see this thing continue to chop up or turn around, we just want to make sure that the bulls can defend this 20-day moving average and this 241.40, which was Friday's low. If we get below there, we could see some a little bit more of a dip, but at the moment, looks like we're seeing the bulls turn this thing back up towards those highs. So at the moment, looks like this uptrend is right back on track, and we should see these higher prices as we head into the rest of the week. Next up, November feeders. A little tighter action here today with prices hanging out inside that prior day's range, but continue to see good consolidation, good support here. Buyers pushing this thing up off of that opening range as well, driving right up there. High of the day coming in right around 375, just shy of 375, and a nice concentration of volume getting built up here as well around the 374 mark. Looking like we've seen pretty good accumulation by the bulls. Buyers really defending this 20-day moving average, and a little bit of a pushback down here below Friday's low, but the bulls just stepping in and buying these lower prices. So looking like a really good sign here at the moment. We do have 3 consecutive days here with a nice tight range, putting up some pressure up on this 374.80 to 375.70 area. Bull pivot is Friday's high. Want to see this market start to get above these prior day highs, and we could see it chew through this gap and head back towards those low 380s and try and retest that prior all-time high. Just need to get some bids rolling here above these prior day highs, and it should be pretty smooth sailing to the upside here for this both feeders and fat cattle markets. So at the moment, really good response here by the bulls this week. We should see continued buying activity here throughout the rest of the week and try and get this market turned back towards those highs. December corn futures giving back a little bit of yesterday's gains, finishing back down there around the 420 mark. At the moment, continue to see choppy, quiet action here as this market doesn't have a whole lot of directional movement. Right here in the middle of the range is a really choppy, nasty place to get involved, so it's better off just steering clear of this market at the moment. Look for this thing to continue chopping here and remain stuck here in this 410 to 430 range. Not a whole lot of excitement here in the corn market. Look for this market to just keep on chopping sideways. We're going to need to, before we can get on board to any sort of directional moves, we're going to need to see a clear and a close beyond either end of this range, but at the moment it's not really looking like it's going anywhere fast, so just steer clear of this one and let this thing chop itself up. Next up are crude oil prices, seeing a little bit of a relief rally getting underway today. Good buyer support down there near the low end of these prior Friday and Monday's range. Buyers stepping in and pushing this market, continuing to show good rejection of the mid-50s down here, like we've seen back in April and May. Buyers pushing this market above these prior 2-day highs, getting a nice little pop up there towards the $58 mark. At the moment, looking like we could see a little bit of a relief rally coming off of these oversold levels. This market has seen a nice little sell-off here over the last couple of weeks, pushing down into some extended territory. Look for this market to have a nice slow drift back up here into the high 50s, potentially towards the $60 mark. We do have these declining moving averages. We should see bears and sellers step in here and provide resistance in any sort of a rally that we see from here. They should be sold into, and bears will continue to keep putting keep putting pressure on this big picture downtrend, keep these oil prices drifting lower. But in the near term, we might just see a little bit of a wiggle here to the upside as this market is coming off of these extended levels. So near-term rally is anticipated. However, we do expect to see rallies be sold into and this big picture downtrend continue to push down into the $50 range. Next up, equity markets with a nice quiet range or a nice quiet day today with a really tight range on the S&P, only trading about 30 points. This market just is hanging out up here near that prior day high. We are also seeing this market really put in a heavy concentration of volume here today. If we can get there. At the moment here between the 6760 and 6790 area, this 30 point range here has really built up a heavy concentration of volume between yesterday's action and today's action. At the moment, we are still trading above this bull pivot here at 67.18, which is a good sign. However, if we do start to see this market flush during tomorrow's session down here below 67.60, we could see price try and go back down here and retest some of these prior highs from last week. We should see good support here, and it looks like this uptrend is right back on track. We should see higher prices continue from here, but just want to be cautious of that. If we do get any offers below 67.60, could see this thing kind of pull back down into this range. But to the inverse side, we could also see a nice break here above today's high at 67.90, and from there it should be pretty smooth sailing all the way up into new all-time high. So above 67.90 should have us attacking that 68.12 area and head towards 7,000 here on the S&P. Really nice tight range day here. Just look for a break of either the higher or low to lead the next move here. At the moment, big picture uptrend still remains intact. Really good supportive action all last week. Good start here on Monday. Price just looking like it's taking a little bit breather here, but we should see this market start to climb out of here and head into those new all-time highs. Nasdaq also showing a nice little tight range day here at the top end of the range, while the Dow managed to see a new all-time high. Coming in there, just putting it up there at 47,334. Nice breakout here as those Dow stocks had a pretty nice rally today. Definitely seeing strength over here in the Dow names at the moment, but we should see these tech names catch up and see the Nasdaq and S&P follow at all-time highs here before the week is over. So look for the upside to continue. That's all we got for this evening. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.